Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. If you've seen our other video where we talk about surfing systems and our budget fully automatic trim tab surfing system, today's the day where we are actually going to install the system that we talked about. Let's run through really quick what we have so that you can see kind of what the install is going to include. This is a Lenco trim tab kit. This kit comes with the rocker switches and the wiring that you need to actually set up your surf side from left to right. These switches are going to be listed as up and down, but we'll figure out how to understand what they actually are when we install them in the boat. We've got instructions, which may or not be relevant. We've got a lot of wiring for the actuators. These will plug directly into these switches. It's a plug and play wiring setup. We've got a lot of brackets and adapters. I don't know why I've got so many of them. Oh, because some of them go on the plate. No problem. Looks like it comes with all the screws I need to screw into the hull and all of that. It also has two Lenco actuators, so there's one, there's two, and it comes with the most important part, these actual Lenco trim tabs. Now the install on these is going to be very, very simple, and the goal is to make a surf style system similar to what the new boats have, where this will mount on the transom, it'll sit up out of the way, and then when we want to, we'll deploy it or bring it up, and we'll have adjustability of anywhere in between. Now, I realize that some people have tried this already and they've gone to forums and Facebook groups and everything, and they've said that this did not work the way that they hoped it would. But it's not a big deal because I have a couple of secret tips that I'm gonna try to make this actually work the way that I think that it should work, similar to any regular surfing system would. So today is going to be the install. I'm gonna show you exactly how I'm gonna install this. I'm gonna actually put it on the boat. We're gonna walk through everything that I do for this install from start to finish, from this kit right here, all the way to completely installed. I'm gonna get the boat out this weekend and I'm gonna start playing with this and seeing what I have to do to actually make it work correctly. But step one obviously is to install the system. Step two is to test the setup and figure out what works the best. You're going to want to watch the install so that you know what we did, so that you can decide if you're up to the task for the install on your boat. I do have a little secret tip that I think is going to make all the difference on this. For sure. So you're not going to want to miss this. Before I get started, I'm going to change out of my Gears and Tech shirt because these are really expensive and I don't want to wreck this one, so I'm going to put on a grubby shirt. We'll have a bar up below where you can get your own merch if you want to have some Gears and Tech shirts as well. Now we're going to go out to the boat. We're going to mock it up first of all, so you can see I've got the actual actuator attached to the surf tab here. And we need to do that just to make sure that when it's mounted, it will be out of the way of the swim platform. So I'm trying to mark the holes with a pencil. It didn't work as good as I hoped it would, but I was able to see it enough that I could drill the hole. You're going to want to make sure you're not drilling into anything on the other side. I've already checked inside my storage locker to make sure it's not going into anything. This went in below the floor, so there was nothing in the way. And we've drilled our first hole. The first one done, we screwed that one in and then lined it up to drill the next hole, and then we just went back and forth drilling the holes until all of them were drilled and the screws were in place. The next step is to line up the bracket on the top of the mount, and I did that by holding the surf tab flush with the bottom of the boat and then marking my holes. You can see I'm drilling them here and getting everything ready to mount that upper bracket, and then we just pass the wire through the big hole and then bolt that all in. I did use silicone on all of the screws, so I just dabbed silicone on the screw before I threaded it into the hull. That way it would seal and provide a watertight seal. This will be below the water, so you do not want water getting in. Now I'm just tightening up all the connections and then checking with the wood to make sure that everything looks good. while I get ready to mark up the next tab on the other side. Here we've moved the camera to the other side so you can see a little bit closer view of us installing everything. So we're just going to burn through this real quick for you to check it out. Unfortunately, it started raining in the middle of the install, but I'll give you a close-up look here of what we're dealing with. We got that side, and we got that side there. So you can see how that went in. It's above the water line there, which will be great, and then it'll deploy. And we've even got this little notch here, so when it does deploy, it'll help channel the water. Now, we're probably gonna have to do the rest of this install at the lake. I've got the wiring and stuff inside the boat already, so the rest can be done while it's on the water. Just the back stuff there you wanna do before you're anywhere near the water, really. So they're all sealed up, the silicone will dry. This boat will be watertight still, and we're gonna have an amazing deployable surf system from the bow. So as you can see, it's obviously the next day. The rain started pouring down on us as we got the trim tabs installed. So we are on to the inside of the boat, which we're going to just run the wiring up and watch the actuators go. So let's get started on that. So the wiring is just coming through the hull right here. It's really hard to see because it's black and the carpet's black, but that's where the wiring's coming up. And then we're just running that through the little side there. And then this particular one just comes out into the engine bay. It has two little ends on there, and that's because you needed to be able to get it through the hole in your hull, and you couldn't do it if you had a connector. So we've got one here, and then this is the other one. And then it comes with these little connectors right here. So there's not a whole lot to know about these, except that the wire goes in the back and then goes out through to the front. So I'm going to stick those in right now. There's really not a lot to this, so we just stick, well, we should probably stick the right color on the right side. This would plug in like this, and what we want to do is just match the wire colors. So you see I've got a white wire and a black wire, and on the harness I have a white with black stripe and a solid white. So solid white will probably go to solid white, so I'll stick that in that side of the connector, and then I'll stick the black in the black side of the connector like that. Now I didn't plug this in all the way because I wanted to just make sure that this goes correctly. So you just go until it clicks like that. So it clicked, now it's in position, and this can just plug right in. This is the finished connector, and it's plugged into the wiring that'll go up to the front of the boat. So for now, I'm not going to run any wiring. All I'm going to do is connect these up, power it up, and watch the actuators go. Once I'm sure that they're working okay, then I will go and route the wiring. We're here under the front part of the boat here, and we've temporarily wired these switches up to, I had a extra fuse block right there, so I was able to add a fuse and then add 12 volts to that. And for the ground, I just found another system ground, stripped the wires back a little bit, and then wrapped the wire around it. That will connect this up, so I should be able to just plug these in. Got the wiring ends. These have little caps on them that can be removed like that, just to expose the end. And I don't know which is which, and it doesn't matter. You just plug that in like that, and then we'll get the other one off, plug that in, and what should happen now, if I flip down on one of these, one of them should move. With the test of the up and down of the plates all out of the way, it is time to do the water test. So here you can see the wave is not formed, and then when we activate the plate, it will deploy it down, and then we'll see the wave form. So here you'll see the wave start to form. Now I know what you're thinking as you look at this wave. This is not the monster wave that I would expect from a deployable surf system. So obviously we're going to have to do a little bit of tweaking to this, but it is an excellent start, and if you stay tuned for the rest of the video, we'll talk about some of the things that we changed to make the wave look like this. Talk about how you get a wave that looks just like this. So I shared these pictures with my favorite surfing group on Facebook, and they said that these plates were not going up high enough. So I adjusted them by drilling out holes at the very tip and moving the mounting plate up so that I could get the angle to look like this. The problem I ran into was that they were up so high I didn't have enough travel in the actuator to actually deploy the plates down in to create a surf wave. So I went back and had a look at the professional systems found on newer surf boats, and what I noticed was they don't actually come out of the water much either. And I was able to confirm during a water test that having them sit parallel with the bottom of the boat did not put them into the wave at all with the length of plate that we are using. So that led to the learnings that I have now. I'm going to do the best I can to explain this because I don't have any other video of it. So you can see here the holes that I drilled were right there, and I moved this plate over into those holes. That's what created the extra angle that I thought that I wanted. Here you can see the plate on this side. It's been moved back to the original mounting position, and that has allowed the plate to deploy below. So this would be the edge of the hull. So if I draw a straight line across here, it's deploying at about a 15-degree angle. Now I need it to deploy more like a 25-degree angle. And the way that you're going to achieve that is by actually drilling holes right here, halfway between this original mounting point and the side of your hull. So we would want to mount the plate right here. What that will do is give you more swing radius so that you have more adjustment points on the plate with the limited travel that the actuator has. The downside to that will be the base up here will have to be mounted higher. So you either have to lift your swim platform up even more, which I've already lifted mine 3 inches, as you can see by this block right here, or you could notch out the swim platform up here and over here so that the actuator sticks out above the swim platform. This does require a certain level of commitment because you will be drilling holes in your boat and permanently modifying parts of your boat. Here you can see the swim platform's already been raised up. So it's not going to need to go much higher. It would probably be another inch or 2. You want to make sure that this upper mount is high enough so that when this is in the stowed position, it's at least horizontal to the hull. What I used was a piece of 2x4 to hold up against the hull and hold it out this way and just make sure that was on the same plane. Now again, some people think that on the non-surf side, so I would deploy this one for surfing, on this non-surf side that the water will come off the hull and hit this plate and it'll mess the wave up. I can confirm that that did not happen. If that's a concern for you, you would simply need to move this in even further, closer to right here, and then this would have to go up even higher. And you could get a steeper angle on it and then get the adjustability to get that angle into the water. But by making that adjustment to the angles, you can get enough deployment on this surf tab so that you can create that wave that we just saw. Now that you've seen the whole install, put a comment below what you think. I know a lot of people talk about, do you do it out like the Malibu system or do you do it down like the Centurion and the Supra and all those other guys? Personally, I like a system that goes down. I have made other videos that explain exactly why I feel that the down firing systems are the better way to go, and it's the reason why I installed this system to go down rather than out. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video, and we'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. You'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.